Jeremy, what do you think? When you can sense that someone feels afraid about the conversation, what are things that you might try?
Two things come to mind. The the first is an interesting example of how the small group at my church has kind of destigmatized these letters, these all these acronyms. So obviously, I go to a church that will not marry gay folks. It has a more traditional evangelical viewpoint, but it has a small group that is um, for both the LGBTQ community and the SSA community. And um, those words imply people who intend to live in a more homosexual lifestyle and those who intend to leave it. The word SSA is used in our context to say, hey, I have a same sex attraction, but my personal conviction means that I will not act upon that. So our small group is for both. And most people miss that when they're looking at our small group and all the letters that follow it. But if you just pry a little bit, you can say, wow, these two groups of people who the world might perceive as at odds with one another are in the same group. And in fact, they are. And so, in that way, it kind of takes back the mystery and mystique of the letters and says, for anybody willing to talk about this, whether you know what the letters mean or not, or anybody who's been touched by this, there's a place for you to meet other folks that are involved with this. And I think that's what this group is. And more pointedly to your question, Pastor Marion, we make it a priority, given the fact that we have that spectrum, to just emphasize bring all of who you are. And that's what I do when I detect that someone's feeling insecure. I mean, I'll be honest, in our small group, the majority of folks I think would identify themselves as LGBTQ. It, smaller portion would say, hey, I feel this way, but I don't want to live this way. But we have it. And when those individuals speak, you can just see the group reach out knowing this person's being vulnerable in this moment and that there's going to be possibly some insecurities, but show them that you love them. When you sense the Holy Spirit's leading, saying this person's reluctant here, and that's what it takes. The Holy Spirit. You can't presume, you can't guess, you can't even project, right? When the Holy Spirit leads you into that, you just seize on that moment to love that person in the way the Holy Spirit directs you, and it just things melt away.